Uh-oh. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Project Time Garage. If you own a Dodge or Chrysler from the 80s or 90s, then you've probably seen this light. If you haven't seen it, you're probably going to see it at some point. This is a maintenance required light, also known as an EMR, or Emissions Maintenance Reminder light. It doesn't mean anything is wrong with the vehicle. It's simply a reminder light. And the way it works is, at scheduled times throughout the vehicle's life, the ECM will call for that light to come on. The idea is they want you to take it into the service center so that they can check your emissions stuff, reset the light, and charge you a bunch of money. If you have an older Dodge vehicle, 1993 or older, and this light comes on, then there's actually a simple fix behind the glove box. You can pull out a little module. It's got a 9-volt battery in it, push a reset button, and it clears the light. But if you have a 94 forward Chrysler or Dodge vehicle, you can't do that. It actually requires a scanner to do it. Now, most people just take the cluster out, pull the bulb, or just deal with it. But I really don't want to do that. I've owned this truck since 1997, and it's been a hell of a reliable vehicle. And I try to keep it maintained to the best of my abilities, and I try to keep it nice as much as possible. So when stuff like this goes wrong, I tend to want to fix it rather than just pull bulbs. So let me show you how we're going to do this today. We're going to use this scan tool from OTC. Now, this is an old scan tool. Matter of fact, there are 2 scan tools in this box. This is for pre-OBD2 vehicles. In 94, the Dodges were not OBD2. So your only option was to have either a Chrysler DRB scanner or a scanner of the time that could do it. Let me show you this, but before I do, if you guys have older vehicles like this, Chrysler, Dodge, Chevrolet, even imports that are pre-OBD2, it's probably worth your while to hop out on eBay and try to find one of these. There's a bunch of them out there, and they're actually really cheap. I mean, you can get these things for next to nothing because they're old and antiquated. But for those of us who have old vehicles, and that's just a few of them, then a tool like this really does come in handy. Let me show you what's in the box. Doesn't really look like your typical scan tool. Actually, I have 2 of them in the box here. I have a Monitor 2000 version, which is just a smaller, it does the same stuff, but it doesn't have quite the display that this one has. It's a multi-line display. Now you'll notice that all of them have these look like Nintendo modules hanging out of the bottom of them. And that's what makes these so cool, because you can buy different modules for different things. For example, here's an import module that goes up to 1996. And since every manufacturer had a completely different idea of how to connect, this is the Chrysler one, definitely not OBD2. This is a Chevrolet one, and there are various others in there for ABS and whatever else. But I go out on eBay every once in a while and I find, just look for these modules. Most of them are called Pathfinder. This is a Pathfinder 3 and this is a Pathfinder 2, and you'll notice the dates. This is 94, this is 93. So if you buy one of these and you're planning on scanning your vehicle with it, just make sure that the year down there on the bottom is at least the year of car you have or newer. So in this case, this is a 92 Pathfinder, so this would only work for 92 and back domestic vehicles. And then they have some modules that are specific, like for Ford and for GM and so on and so forth. But anyway, you get the idea. So we're going to use the old Monitor 4000 here today, and we're going to clear this light, or at least we're going to attempt to. This is made to plug into the cigarette lighter of your vehicle, and then this plugs into the diagnostic port. In our case, and in most cases for Chrysler, it's under the hood. So you need an extension cable like that to reach from under the hood to inside the driver's compartment. And this thing just plugs on like that. It's just a DIN cable. Also, if you want to work outside under the hood, you've got this adapter here that'll plug onto your battery. So that's how that works. There's also tons of manuals and gobs of other accessories or whatever. I think I want to say I gave $100 for this kit. And I found this Monitor 4000, which was a whole separate purchase on eBay. I want to say I gave like 30 bucks for this. It was really cheap. So anyway, look for these right here. They'll run you, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks a piece, depending on the seller you find them from. All right, enough yapping. Let's go put this to use. Well, as previously stated, this is where the diagnostic connector is for this particular vehicle, and this is the adapter from the kit. It just plugs in here, and we'll run the rest of this into the driver's compartment. Well, I have my cable connected, and we'll go ahead and give this thing some power. And I'll have to turn the key on because, and sorry about that buzzer, I have that working on purpose. All right, so this is a 1997 Pathfinder module, so it's going to cover, look, you can see that I've had this on this truck before. So we're going to reuse this Dodge Ram 2500 4x4 8.0 liter. So one yes. And in this case, we're going to use the Deluxe CDR option. There's a lot of stuff that you can have, like Data Line and Pathfinder. What Pathfinder is, it will help walk you through basically a checklist to identify a problem. So we're going to start with Deluxe CDR, and we're going to go down to, I think it is, I cannot remember, solenoid state, module info. I think it is special tests, if I'm not mistaken. So that's number 8. And, oh, there it is. Look, EMR lamp reset. So that's number 2. We'll enter on that one. To perform EMR reset, turn key on, engine off, enter to reset EMR. So enter, EMR reset not completed. Press any key. So even though it said that it wasn't successful, it will be successful. So we'll turn the key on, and we see the maintenance required light is there. It'll go through a check and turn itself off, and we'll start the truck. And there we go. It's reset. Just a little bit more information on these if you're considering getting something like this for your older vehicle. There's quite a bit of stuff you can actually look at. For example, well, sensor tests, for example. If we go into sensor tests, then we can choose the sensor we want, and well, let's just hit enter right here. So battery air temp is, or the battery / air temp is 89, and we can just walk up the sensors. Oxygen sensors 0.9. Oxygen sensor, I assume it should be going back and forth between rich and lean. That actually, it just shows rich. I can give it some gas and it goes to lean, but that may be part of why this truck has a little bit of a stumble. It might need an oxygen sensor possibly, although it's not showing a code for one. But anyway, walking up, fuel control status, I don't know what CLS means. I guess that's closed loop. CL, maybe CLD, but anyway, fuel control status, we're in closed loop. O2 sensor voltage is jumping all over the place, which I guess I would expect. Oxygen state, rich to lean, which is what I expect. Engine coolant temps at 183. Coolant sensor voltage is 2.7 volts coming back to the ECU. So you get the idea. Throttle position volts is 0.64. If I give it gas, that changes, obviously. So relative throttle position sensor, I can give it some gas and we'll change that. So that's just, that's just some of the stuff. But these things were pretty powerful back in the day for, for vehicles like this. It really didn't get any better than something like this, unless you bought a Chrysler DRB scanner, which nobody was going to do. So anyway, that's just some information on these. Hope somebody found this helpful, and I'm sorry to break the bad news to you that if you have a 94 and newer, then you have to have the scanner to do it, but it is what it is. So anyway, guys, appreciate you watching the video. If you found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up. If you have anything to say, please do so down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about us. Guys, I'll see you next time.